We have Alanchua.
Well, hi. Hello there.
Frzyc late for his own stream. What's going on?
So far, so good. So far, so good.
Squeezing out those last Lost Ark dailies.
Hell yeah.
Have you looked at Toothless's math a bit more and vetted it a little bit more?
No, I haven't taken a look at it at all. Hour.
Oh
Hi
no.
there.
Hello. Bit late today, eh? I'm exactly it looks like I'm exactly 156 seconds late.
No one was counting.
Who's counting? Okay, I've exited the game. I've had the scans ready. We open the
Okay.
dashboard. And then send a quick message in the notifications. Okay. I am incredibly disorganized today, right now. Thought I had enough time to get a bit of a head start on cooking.
What's for dinner? Better not be spam.
I cut up some pork belly for some Korean marinated pork.
Nice.
Yeah. Gonna grill it up on maybe the cast iron or something, and wrap it up in some lettuce.
Seems good to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you the file shortly.
Okay.
Let's see. Where's the file location? 6. Oh, interesting. Okay. Hopefully there were no duplicates in the file. Sometimes the scanner either duplicates a row or skip a row in the artifacts. That usually has some pretty interesting effects. And then you can log into my game now.
Yeah, okay.
People are watching enough the Elon screen. Oh, hello, Van. Now we have all the boys. Well, except Sin, but he's never joined this voice chat. So let's assume that he's just a Texas man that doesn't have a voice.
We can make any assumption about his accent.
Well, we know next to nothing about him. The man is an enigma.
Just a really sophisticated AI that can search up Discord messages.
Oh, my head canon is a thick Russian accent.
Your headcanon Sin is a heavy, thick Russian accent.
Yes.
I guess you can't prove a negative, so if that's true, then that's true. So, what happened? I guess was it a week ago? I did a dev stream that ended in some dope opening. We've spent I think about 20,000 primal gems to get Elon.
I think it might have been, yeah. It wouldn't have been a week
Yeah.
ago. It would have been earlier this week.
Oh
But
yeah,
she
it
came
was
out
earlier this week.
Tuesday or something, was it? I can't remember now.
Oh man, time has blended together
Hmm.
into a amorphous mass. So yeah, we did the Elon stream, and then I made a mistake by uploading Cookie on the website.
Whoops.
Oopsie daisy. It's okay. She's not on the website anymore. There's no worrying Basing say.
There's no war in Basing say.
I still have an old tab that I haven't refreshed that has hers there.
Oh look, 5 followers, Prime and views on my stream.store. Well, time for you to bugger off. Wait, how do I enable moderator icon? There it is. You're banned. Ah, this is why we stream, boys. We stream so the boss can come in here and we ban them.
Bot bait.
I wonder if they like message like big streamers who has like hundreds of viewers. I guess if you have hundreds of viewers, you have better moderation tools other than manual.
There's got to be like auto mod tools that'll just filter that stuff out for sure.
Yeah, there's Optimizer enterprises are sort of people who react proactively to things. We only do something if something is a problem.
You cut out for a good long period there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Goodness. I wonder. There might be a problem with let's see. Ah, there's a problem. You joined this chat first, so this chat is defaulted to Sydney.
Aha.
Yeah. So
Should
we're
we
at a
disband
severe
it?
disadvantage.
Should we disband
let's-
this and start again? Yeah.
Okay. Let's coordinate this. Let's all go to another stream. Let's all go to another chat, and I'll join back first.
Okay, we'll go into general.
Can you just manually edit it?
I don't know. That would be something nice. Actually, let me see. Video quality, region override. Oh yeah, region override. There we go.
Oh, there is. Oh, yeah, cool.
US
Yeah,
East. I guess US East. Okay, so now does that change where the stream is happening? Now it's US East. Okay.
Still says 3 bars of green for me, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, but latency for me has went down from 250 down to 20 millisecond.
250. I'm used to that.
I'm not. My there's enough brain lag on my end. I'm already at a disadvantage. Uh-oh. Forgot to edit the stream info. Let's see. Optimizer QnA with Abyss suffering. There we go. I thought I would be able to like level up Elon enough to like for you to try her out in Abyss. Because you haven't gotten her on your account, have you?
Oh, yeah, I have. I've used her in a bit
Oh, you
already on
have?
my account, yeah.
Oh.
I've been playing around with her a fair bit after the first couple of days. I didn't have a chance to play when it first came out, so I've finished the quest now, and then I've been trying Yelan in all different teams, and I've got to say, she's probably the most fun character they've released in a long time.
Oh yeah? That's good.
Yeah, she fits
I
into
just
so many
realized-
teams and works really well.
Huh. Meanwhile, everyone else in the Genshin community is like, oh, she's just inferior thinking with less hydro applications.
I don't think they've spent the time to actually play her properly. They've just looked at her and gone, "Oh, it's just Xingqiu 5-star, but she's worse." I'm like, is she though?
Is she though? I think the ability to empower like damage in general is very very powerful. Like we have not had a character that has like a such a what is it diverse range in which she can boost damage.
And I like that she doesn't care about attack scaling whatsoever, unless you're using your autos, of course. But all of her scaling comes from HP, and it means you can build her differently.
Yeah, and split scaling is always nice as well. I think split scaling characters are kind of the de facto Genshin normal nowadays. It's been a while since they have. Well, I mean, actually, I shouldn't generalize on what Mihoyo's doing. He looks like our stream time is actually a bit inconvenient for Juan. He has to commute home,
Oh no.
so I believe he's just gotten off work. Maybe he should have just gotten off work an hour early to accommodate our time. Gosh.
Yeah, that's a perfect excuse to leave early.
Just talk to your general manager. Hi, I have a podcast that we need to be on. We have over 6 viewers. Oh, 6 viewers. That's actually quite a lot.
Damn.
He's already on the earliest bus. Man, what I think if you want to like participate, we should move the stream back by an hour. We'll just dock your pay on the other side.
Who else do I need to build here? Actually, how far did you get Yolan up?
I think she's only like level 60, I believe. I have not how do I say
You haven't
taken
touched her
advantage of quite.
talents or anything yet? No.
Yeah, no, I have not. Oh, level 50 out of 60. Yeah, it might, I mean, it might be good enough for, I guess, floor 9 to 10, but my level 1 Mona, actually, Yulan is probably going to be like a stand-in for my level 1 Mona nowadays, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I think probably not in the Morgana team.
Hmm. It's okay, I don't mind. It gives me something to listen to on the bus. You must be using an astronomical amount of like data for you to do this, isn't it?
Surely you're not, restricted with that much data in. What are you in Canada?
Well,
I
he's not in
guess.
Canada, is he?
No, he's in US, is he?
Yeah, he's in the land of the free where there's no freedom in terms of, you know what? I don't want to get too political. Non-limited data. That's good. At least AT&T. Well, it must either be AT&T or like must be one region or another. Actually. Mm,
The formatting for the Twitch chat thing is still all off, isn't it? Even on mine.
yeah.
Ah.
It's well, I guess I'm glad that unless we're using exactly the same thing.
Yeah, we'd be using the same tools, I guess.
Yeah, we're both using Stream Elements, but mine has a bit of extra CSS to make sure everything left align, which isn't doing anything.
Ah. I don't remember if I just copied your URL for the overlay or
Oh, yeah,
not.
that's what's happening. You did. I gave you the
Yeah.
URL. Okay, so it's the same bloody thing.
Fix your shit.
Oh, I guess since I have nothing else to do. Honestly,
let's see.
I don't really like stream elements very much. But it seems to be the default. Wait, no, is this stream elements or stream other thing?
Yes.
This other one, because this actually isn't stream elements, is it? It's stream something
Streamlabs?
else.
Is it
Stream
Streamlabs?
Labs might be. Oh yeah, it's Stream Labs. Stream Elements, you can edit like the whole UI. Stream Labs, it gives you like little widgets. Okay, so put the CSS here to left align. Okay, the custom CSS with clean UI. Actually, let's just reset this code. There's something weird happening here. Our stream isn't popular enough for the chat to be on all the time.
Have to get some bots. Get Nightbot advertising something constantly.
Now I don't know what to spam the chat with. Must be Genshin Optimizer related stuff. Here. Let's see. This is quite a bit of text. See if that works. Must be able to like see how it looks on the left. Oh, I see. So their left align is different than our left align. It's he has a ton of Actually, I might use that for the website. Table row. Except now, how is that going to be updated? Because I think the issue with the Streamlabs one is that it always saves a bit of space on the left for the name, but sometimes the name isn't long enough.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm a web dev, but I don't do web dev here.
The text
Honestly, I never
size looks
thought.
a little bit big. I wonder if that's how I've resized it in OBS, or have you increased the font size in Streamlabs?
I could always decrease the font size. Never mind. I'm just gonna go Ipsum generator. I wonder if I'm gonna get flagged as a bot in my own chat. That'd be hilarious. Okay, that seems to be okay, I think. I don't know. Actually, that doesn't seem to be okay at all. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Let's always show messages. Welcome to the Genshin dev stream, where We're not doing any optimizer dev. We're just trying to figure out how a chat box works.
How does Twitch streaming work? You'd think we'd figure this out before we have to stream.
You would think so.
If that's not, you know, showing how the whole operation works, I don't know what is.
We only fix problems that when the problems rear its ugly head.
Yep.
Here, I'm just gonna keep sending these randomly generated messages to see if they line up on the left. Plus stream delay, this is gonna be a bit hard. Okay, they seem to be lined up correctly. Now, I think. Well, from the anecdotal evidence that I see right now.
Because it was like the second message from the same user would be offset a bit before, wasn't it?
Yeah. People are gonna look at this stream and it's like, what the heck is flashing up on stream?
Yep. Oh no, hang on. Your third message was a bit off.
Oh no, not like this. So this doesn't work at all then. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so I thought you just had the text chat box left aligned. That's annoying. I'm just gonna reset the code, I guess.
Roll back. Undo changes.
That is quite annoying. I'm sure it's worked at one point or another. Then again, maybe I should look for like a solution that isn't 4 years old.
Well, what we've found with, you know, OBS and Streamlabs and Discord, they don't seem to update their widgets very often, do they?
Well, OBS definitely don't do it, but oh, here's the issue is that there's no there's like no Stack Overflow on this. I'm just gonna reset it back to what it was. I'll figure out how all the CSS stuff works. It seems to just be a bit of like color injection. I'm just not sure how this works. Oh, but I could always change the font to like Comic Sans or something.
Wingdings.
Wingdings. Yeah. I think most streamers probably have like a dev friend that does this for them. Every time something screws up, they just spam them with Discord messages. These you see even listeners who run functions, but these functions are empty. What is the point of them? Oh yeah, Stay, have you played the Paimon Gunpla game?
No.
Someone made a fan game where it's like, you know, like the whole Gunpla assembly process.
Yeah.
So you buy a kit, you break them off the scaffolding, and then you like clean up the pieces, and then you put them together in like Lego-esque instructions.
Hmm.
Someone made a game with like a Paimon model for that.
Hmm.
So if we ever have if we ever need to pad out the runtime for this stream, or if you're horrendously not suffering enough, we could try to pad out the runtime with that.
Well, I mean, if we do Lantua's account again, the suffering will be real.
Oh yeah, actually that's true. I don't think it's at the stage where you could 36 star on his account.
Well, I have improved it a lot. But this Abyss cycle might be struggle, maybe? I don't know. I didn't...
Oh yeah, this is a new Abyss cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's changed up.
I honestly haven't looked into it. What's the difference this time around?
Honestly, I've forgotten. Even though I only did it a couple of days ago. I just zoomed through it and went, oh, that was different.
It's just marginally different, but there's no change. That's kind of...
9 and 10 didn't change. I think Magu Kinky is back, and the PMA is back.
I see. Well, Magu Kinky is always a bit of a... Wait, is it the triple Magu Kinky or just the lonely boy?
I think it's just the single one.
I find both of the variation to be very frustrating.
I don't like the single one. The triple seems to be okay, as long as you can coordinate not getting hit.
And then you could just AoE them, but yeah, the issue is like you just need like the absolute good RNG for AoE of getting them standing together. Whereas the single Kinkis just seems very annoying because there's just so much you spend like 40% of the fight waiting for its iframe to end.
Yeah, I don't like how he's immune for so long in the changeover period. First phase to the second phase. And then if you don't position him correctly, he'll dash halfway across the map and ruin your run.
Right, but even just at the beginning, the man takes like 10 seconds just to stand up.
I don't mind that because you can recover some energy just by hitting him safely.
That's true. So what do you think about using that little utility to restart your game for different resolutions?
I didn't actually try it, but it looks interesting.
Like you should be able to just start your game using that custom resolution that you do. Using that utility so you wouldn't have to use that registry hack.
Yeah. I do remember Cube, he posted another launcher that could change accounts without having to log in individual accounts and do the capture. So because I'm fiddling with several accounts now, I'm wondering if I should use something like that. And it'd be nice to be able to combine all the functions of an account switcher and a resolution switcher into one launcher.
Really? Who sent it to you? Cube?
Cube, yeah. It was a Chinese one, and he translated it and used it for himself.
Interesting.
But I'm not sure it automatically selected region, because all of his accounts he was playing on were all NA, I believe.
Didn't find any work on global. Found one for Chinese server, translated, updated system path, published it. Dang. Chinese server version, downloads, Genshin Impact account switching tool. Log into game account number 1, click save. Updated 3 months ago. So what's the next big feature in development for Go? Well, multiple optimization target is always something that's constantly being brought up and quote-unquote constantly being worked on. I've had maybe like 4 attempts at trying to make a prototype for it. All of them have failed spectacularly.
Is that a prototype of the UI or the actual calculation?
Both. Well, most of the, I think 2 of them failed on the UI front already. So another thing to work on. Another relatively big thing is I want to change how the set filters work on the website. Currently, you either have like the filter is basically every artifact or specific artifact set, and 2 set, 4 set, or something like that. I want to have more flexibility for the end user, so want to be able to have it so that you could select multiple sets or multiple 2 sets that you use or multiple 4 sets. So you wouldn't be like the entirety of your artifact inventory, but you could definitely be more flexible with the amount of builds that gets generated. Of course, changes like this would probably result in an upward tick in general for build times. But for people who want to see how 2 different artifact sets compare, or 2 different 4 sets compare, at least Optimizer will be able to pull those in one build instead of having to build twice. Which probably would have taken the same time, if anything. Having them in the same space would have been less time, because they'd be under the same level of pre-calculation.
Because I've had a few people DM me recently as well in Discord about things
Why
like...
do you have your DMs enabled?
Yeah, I should probably stop that, but I don't mind it for the most part, as long as it doesn't ramp up too crazy. You're talking about like weighting, like they want to be able to weight certain optimization targets and weight certain stats, which is essentially multi-target, but they don't realize it.
Yeah. So
because they're believing that like weighting should be easy. Like if they say, "Oh, I only want 60% of this," but I'm not sure it's as easy as they think.
It's not as easy as they think, but it should be easier now. So the biggest problem right now is designing the data format and UI for the multi-target, and then streamlining it so that it works across the system. Having a way for a user to save configuration, or having multiple configuration that they could switch around instead of having to rebuild their targets.
Oh, okay. So if you put a combo string in of several normals, a burst, a skill, a vaped and non-vaped, you want to be able to save that as like a loadout, and so you don't have to keep setting up those strings.
Yeah, that's something I kind of want to have ideally, and I guess the ability to persist builds currently we do persist builds that you've generated, but the issue is if you build again, those builds gets lost. So being able to, I guess, have a separate tab that's just all the saved builds, and you'll be able to compare those saved builds against your current builds. Quite a lot of nuances in that. I think currently the biggest hurdle that we have to deal with is that if you save the artifact with IDA in the loadout and then you delete that artifact, there's a very high chance that when you add the artifact again, you get assigned the IDA, which means that you have a invalid loadout where there might be like 2 feathers or 2 goblets or something. Ideally what we could do in that case is to somehow either don't allow that to happen or just make sure that if that does happen, at least don't allow the case where 2 feathers were to happen or something like that. We're still in discussion in the background. So even small features like this have a ton of caveats and nuances.
Yeah, it goes a lot deeper than the average user might think. And going, oh, it should be easy just to make it 50% this and 50% that, and just optimize.
Yeah. It'll be a lot easier if this isn't, I guess, a product that's being used by like hundreds of people. If this is like a small program that's like really catered for a very small community, I'm sure the development cycle will be much shorter. Not to mention, I don't have to be so careful with all the decisions in terms of features.
Yeah, one thing I found is a large user base all have slightly different ways of using the program that you weren't really thinking of when you first implemented that feature.
Yeah.
And while it might not be the ideal way that you thought of when implementing the feature, I suppose it's still a valid way in a lot of cases.
Well, the issue is like, I think it's as a developer, I don't really have a good point of view on what a general use case is, because I don't want to write a feature just for like 1 or 2 people. I want to write it for like 80% of the users. This is whenever I decide on a feature, it always ends back being like what I call dev conversion. I want 1 hour developer time to be used by hundreds of people, not 1 hour developer time to be only used by 1 or 2 people. So like I want to be able to, I guess, optimize this ratio. You just rather optimize it for that, right?
I mean, that's the same across all kind of dev projects and games and such. You always get the people who are playing the meta game going, oh, why isn't this developed for us? But then there's lots of other casual players as well that might not need the game to be that crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a lot of crazy calculation stuff that like we could be doing, or like very intense TC oriented features that like we could potentially do. The issue is like the majority of our user base is for like general user, and the fundamental idea behind this tool is for people who isn't very rigorous in terms of being able to like calculate or create spreadsheets or even like follow general Genshin conventions to be able to kind of prototype their builds. So some of the more advanced features are going to be more of a headache. Doing a botchy way with shitty UI is probably not too difficult. Doing a maintainable way seems annoying. Yeah, that's generally kind of the issue with the optimizer. It seems that everyone has a different way of using it. It is, like I said, very difficult to figure out what the general use case for a lot of people is. Like today we got a request that we could put the character weapon artifact button at the bottom of the list instead of the start of the list. But you know, this is highly catered to his use case, and not the general use case, I would presume. And I don't think in terms of UI design it's a good idea to even design UI to cater to someone who's already using the program for a long period of time.
That's why you're ignoring all my issues.
Yeah, well, I'm ignoring most of the ones that I don't have a good answer for. But you know, I think I've answered some of this, like this one about build loadouts, which is basically those loaded, yeah, those safe builds that we can do. Once we resolve what we're gonna do in terms of I guess invalidating builds when artifacts on the loadout gets removed to change around.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Have you been talking all this time?
Yeah, I was wondering why nobody was responding. But anyway,
I thought you just did a lurker stream today. Like you play too much Elden Ring and you just don't want to talk.
well, that too, but that never deters me, does it?
I guess you shouldn't have. So I guess let's start from the beginning. Assume that actually I don't think we heard you spoke at all this entirety of the stream, so you might have to go back a few tangents.
That is fine. I'll just go. I'll just do it as I go.
First in, first out.
I already forget it. The cache is flushed. It's okay.
The toilets of thought have been flushed.
Yes.
Yeah. I think all the issue is currently in our issue backlog. All the easier issues gets like highly contested because all of us were like, "Hey, 10-minute fix," and we get clout for fixing bugs. But a lot of the feature request stuff are basically, what do we do here? And I understand that a lot of this is kind of my issue for not having a good answer for most of them. But sometimes there's just not a good answer for a lot of these. Like, I guess not to keep hitting this dead horse, but there are quite a lot of features for Optimizer that are extremely easy for us to do, but extremely easy to be misinterpreted by the end user.
A lot of the users still don't know how to use the TC graph very well, so...
Well, the TC graph, I guess, is kind of the most unbiased way of finding a certain breakpoint. I'm not actually 100% sure how the TC graph is going to work with a multi-target. I'm going to assume that it will just work.
Shouldn't it? If you're still only comparing to a base stat, not another optimization target. Ooh, that's a can of worms there.
It probably should just work. I mean, technically, it could compare against any other computable thing.
Well, one of the biggest issues I have with multi-target is that currently everything in the system is a formula, but the formula doesn't know what a formula is. Like it could be calculating a damage number, it could be calculating a heal number, it could be calculating a shield amount, it could even be calculating like a damage percentage. So what's a good way to make sure a user doesn't add apples and oranges? Well, in this case, the user doesn't add like kilograms and meters or pounds. and meters. I guess they're like not even in the same Imperial units.
Well, we can probably tag each individual formula.
Yeah, the good
Each
thing is that
individual. How
most
many
of the time
formulas do we
we're
have?
using utility function to tag the damage formula, so there shouldn't be too many outliers.
Hmm.
But then where will we tag it? How do we tag it? I guess it will be in the info.
Probably.
So we're gonna have a type property in the info for each node. How would that propagate? Will it
It-
propagate?
It definitely cannot propagate.
Right, because damage is basically a summation of stats and percentages, so you cannot propagate. So that means that there's only one layer in which a unit works.
Or the top layer, you mean?
Yeah, the top layer. So when we have calculations across, well, let's assume that they're all just basically offline calculations of multiple targets.
Okay. I see. Well, have a good weekend. No, nothing. I'm getting paranoid, whether or not you guys are hearing me.
Oh, we heard you.
We heard you.
He's like, I'm
Because I
gonna
was,
have a good weekend. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I was asking questions, I was quibbing, I was playing joke, like, what is going on?
Yeah, why isn't anyone respond to my jokes? I know they're terrible, but they're not ignorable terrible.
Yes, it's never that bad or easy.
Or is it? You can never know. This is why you don't tell jokes to friends. They laugh out of pity and you can't figure it out sometimes.
Oh, well. Or sometimes you're so lonely that a pity laugh is enough.
Well, okay. I visited you like 2 weeks ago, okay? You're not this lonely. I did a wellness check on you.
You don't know me! Anyway.
I guess they don't really allow the house pet in that apartment of yours, is there? You could probably keep a cat.
Pretty sure it is allowed, but the question is...
Can you keep it alive in that biohazard that you call a room? Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
very good question. Oh, what happened to Hu Tao's camera there?
She just wanted to get up close and personal.
Yeah. Honestly, some of the camera work in this game is wonky. Like, I think most of the time when I use the Raiden ults, like, her neck dislocates before her animation starts. And, like, it's incredibly unsettling.
Yeah, like she gets hit and staggered just before the ult happens, and so she gets whiplash.
Yeah. Oh, Vaughn didn't know that we know each other IRL. Yeah, we have history.
Oh,
This
we
is why
do.
this is why it's so easy to nurse snipe you to do optimizer work. I have years of backlog on what triggers you. And I guess we're gonna have a meetup soon, in like a month or so when the Anime North starts, eh?
Yeah.
Whenever that may happen. Dang, you should come to Canada for Anime North.
From
That's an
Australia?
expensive anime convention, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For a weekend convention. You might as well go to Anime Expo in Los Angeles.
You
That's
just go
happening
on
this
an
same
expo
month.
spree. Yeah, just go on a convention spree for like a month or two, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not like there's any pets or children at home that you need to feed.
No, no, no. Not at all.
Other than COVID restrictions, you should be pretty free to travel around. I wonder if there's such thing as like you have to convince me to pay for you. I have a full-time job. A full-time job in this economy isn't something that's very easy to live by.
Oh well. It is unfortunate.
My office is trying to stop the convention of remote work, so I'll have to drive to the office starting soon.
That is very unfortunate.
And when I started remote work, gas prices were well, gas prices have doubled since then.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have a
that's been
feeling
pretty
gas
terrible.
price is gonna rise. I have a feeling it's gonna rise even much harder.
Yeah, like I'm glad that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, but like for people who live paycheck to paycheck and like need this money, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if the gas price double in next month?
Yeah.
Ah well.
Even for like simple like necessities like groceries, food prices have risen like 40%. Before COVID was a thing, 30 eggs was like $6. Now it's like $9 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely noticed that I buy a lot less red meat now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Good thing I love chicken, so or I've convinced myself to love chicken. Maybe that's how that works.
That sounds so sad.
It's like beef is less affordable. Time to Stockholm ourselves into loving chicken.
Oh god.
Chicken isn't affordable. Time to Stockholm ourselves into loving tofu. Tofu isn't affordable. Time to Stockholm ourselves into loving Soylent Green. See, you can't have too much hydro application. Just double it up.
Easy.
Easy. What was that? I'm sure that was iframed. Apparently not.
No, we're gonna see it in about 7 seconds on stream.
Yep.
Whoa, what's that? It looks like you actually didn't iframe at all. Ouch. So every time I log on to Genshin, it's not the lack of content that makes me want to get off, it's too much content that makes me want to get off.
I felt that was going to happen with all those quests that you're saving up, and now there's just too much.
No, there's too much. I think it's like I want to get to the because it's hard to avoid spoilers at this point. So I have a general idea on what happened during the latest storyline. So like I just want to like rip the band-aid off and like see how much pus is underneath. It's a terrible analogy, but like. But like I stopped playing. I stopped doing Genshin quests with Kokomi's quest line. So like, I have a lot to catch up to. I don't think I've explored Enkonomiya at all.
Because I think you'll need to do Ito's quest as well to do
Oh,
this latest
bloody
arc
hell.
model.
Yeah. So quite a lot of things to do. Maybe there's
Yeah.
gonna be another hiatus in a 2.7 time frame.
I mean, what is Hyda's gonna do? You're not gonna play it still.
Okay, I'll basically what I'm gonna do is I will try to sleep less.
Me?
I will sleep less and maybe I'll stream some of it.
Hmm.
Maybe that's how you do the Genshin content thing. You just do all the content all the content like 2 or 3 months after their release, and then everyone come back to your stream for nostalgia.
Oh dear.
Because that's what happens, right? You can't replay quests or stuff, so people have to like. So people were like, oh, so this is what happened in this quest line. That was nostalgic. Or I did this quest 2-3 months ago and I completely forgot what happened because the story doesn't matter in this game. Or rather, they write the story so it doesn't matter in this game.
Oh well.
Yeah, I feel like you're suffering because of the ping, honestly.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of these are iframeable, but like, you're not
You just-
adjusting your brain to compensate for the latency.
You just gotta dodge ahead, man. Like play it like Dark Souls. You see?
Yeah.
Oh, Sting. Firehell has found your issue. Apparently scroll distances are inconsistent at that resolution.
Aha.
Okay, I still don't understand the dynamics of your setup. Like, how is it that you have 3 monitor, but you still need to restrict Genshin to a weird resolution to look at your taskbar and like...
Well, I don't have the taskbar on the other monitors. I don't want to play Genshin on these side monitors.
I see. What if you move the taskbar to the other monitors?
Well, that doesn't feel, right.
Why not? Huh. What? What if you auto hide the taskbar?
Auto hide. That's awful.
Okay. Okay, so let's examine your use of secondary monitor space. Primary monitor apparently is occupied by Genshin and your main web browser. And all the tabs, I guess, your email, your Twitch, your NFTs, your Dogecoin counter. I don't know. And so what do you use the other 2 monitor for?
Essentially they're either more browsers or chat or video.
And okay, so when you do use a second monitor, do you segregate the screen space?
Yeah, I do.
So okay, so effectively you have 4 compartments that you could have second monitor content.
Yeah.
I'm just so informed.
And you still have to have your primary monitor. Because like right now for me, my main monitors for like I only have 2 monitors, right? So like my main monitors for gaming and like coding. My second monitor is usually divided into 2 or 3 compartments, and that's like enough for me. So I'm not sure what you're doing with all this screen availability that you're not utilizing.
I guess it's just that I want to have the chat up all the time for Discord and for the other chat programs I use. or whichever website needs to be opened separately.
Other chat programs. There are other chat programs other than Discord.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you still use Skype or like Facebook Messenger or
Oh
WhatsApp.
no, it's ICQ. That was the one of the day.
ICQ. Really showing you're really showing your age, isn't it?
Is that even a thing anymore?
What is ICQ?
Oh no.
I'm Googling this and I've never seen this logo before in my bloody life.
Really?
This logo looks like it was made in like MS Paint in the early 2000s.
Initial
The
release November
interface is
15, 1996. 25 years ago ICQ came out. Oh damn.
1996. A lot of our viewers and like people you play Genshin with aren't even like doesn't even exist then.
The internet was a very different time back then. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
don't
can tell. I can tell. It is quite different.
Okay, so how do you even run ICQ right now? Presumably you have to
I
use some
was
sort of
I was joking, I don't use it.
you have to use some sort of Windows compatibility mode or something.
Well, it says the latest release is February 2022, so it's someone's maintaining it.
Bloody hell! Oh, this it has gone open source.
Hmm.
Mac OS build. Huh.
Interesting.
There's C++, Objective C++, and a bit of C and Python. Oh,
That's what I want. What's there? Oh yeah, that's true.
ICQ is older than one of our developers.
Oh no.
Wait, how old is Van? I'm assuming he's like in his 20s. Well, I guess once you're past your 20s, it really doesn't matter how old you are.
Ooh,
Ouch.
cuts deep.
I'm
Oh,
serious. I don't I like if you ask me how old I am, I would not be able to tell you. I will have to like actually like Google it up or like do like uh, do something in my head. If you said 16, would you
do
believe
something
me?
in your head. That sounds weird.
Well, like just do some math, quick maths.
Hmm.
Probably won't believe that you're actually 16, actually 23. Oh wow. What software language are we talking about? Um, I don't know if I want to repeat this.
We feel old already.
Or rather, when was it released? Apparently ICQ is a cross-platform. I guess when it was released, there is no other platforms.
It
I
was
mean,
just
technically,
Windows, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
still updated.
It was just the mainstream Windows. ICQ was released in 1996, right? When was
Oh,
the first Mac OS released?
I'm sure there was. Oh wait, it might not have been Mac OS back then.
Yeah,
Would have been yes.
Mac OS was released in 2001.
I mean, technically, they're still updated. Like the stable release is like this Feb. Just saying.
Mm.
I like how the first Google search is like whatever happened to ICQ.
It's still going.
It,
Who uses it? No idea.
no one.
And it's supposed to pronounce ICQ, by the way.
Does it
ICQ.
matter?
Just saying.
When
I'm just.
when am I ever gonna have a conversation about ICQ again in my life?
You never know,
Stay is literally the oldest person I talk casually to.
dude. Ow.
Don't think I've actually used ICQ since the good old days of Windows 95.
Oh dear.
I think everyone sort of transitioned to MSN Messenger after that, and then that died. I
Yeah,
can't even
and
remember
then
what came after MSN.
probably like Skype
Maybe
or
people,
something.
yeah, maybe people were using Skype for a bit, and then it just got too bloaty and terrible.
Yeah, and then people would start using Facebook.
Yeah, I
Or
guess
I guess
Facebook would have
MySpace
been.
before that.
I never used MySpace. I think I just went
Did
straight to
MySpace ever have
Facebook.
Did MySpace ever have a chat interface?
Not sure.
No idea.
Either way, about a few years ago, I was like, I can't keep track of all these chat programs. I'm gonna consolidate and coerce all my friends into one chat platform. Discord happened to be a thing.
I essentially did the same, and we moved on to Slack, which is mainly for like business purposes and all that.
Yeah.
But it worked well.
Can
Better
you
than
Slack is so
navigate
scrolling.
through
laggy.
Slack chat
Okay.
like without paying a corporate membership?
Yeah, you can get a free one, but it gets to a point where it starts deleting your history after like 6 months or something, and you can't upload more images. So you have to like clear
Oh,
out all your uploaded images.
that seems unnecessarily ridiculous.
Yeah, we ended up ditching Slack and then going to Mattermost, and then one of
Oh,
my
Mattermost,
mates.
but Mattermost is getting deprecated.
Is it? Shit!
Oh.
They're removing it like the end of this year.
Oh no!
Eh,
Oh no, we're gonna have to move again.
It
But it's
I
open
know,
source,
because
isn't it? Like if you run your own server, it should be fine.
should be fine, but I don't think they're supporting the software. That's the issue.
Ugh.
Right.
Might as well move on to like Microsoft Teams or something ridiculous.
Oh, Zoom. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, Curse Voice. There was another one in between. It was kind of like Xfire or something that my friends used to use. Xfire gaming chat. Oh my gosh, this is nostalgic. Terrible, terrible UI. Oh, and I think it's dead. Developed for 7 years, bought out by Titan Gaming, team reassigned, social service discontinued 3 years later. Damn.
Why are we getting so nostalgic? I just talked to my friends about Cobalt.
Cobalt.
Yeah, like remember last year about like some financial institute is hiring some Cobalt engineer because like their old code is getting deprecated.
Oh, I thought I thought you were talking about the element with atomic number 27.
Well, the name came from that, but yeah, I'm talking about the program.
Yeah. I think is it still being supported?
I'm pretty sure it is. Like every bank in the world has interest in that language. Let's see.
Compiled English like computer programming language designed for business use.
What does that even mean? Like designed for business use?
I
Like,
don't know. First appeared 63 years ago.
yeah.
Wow, it's actually older than Stain,
Oh,
surprisingly.
Jesus. That's the first thing on the internet, that is.
Yeah. You mean
I think it existed before the internet.
Feels like it.
1959.
you mean the shit is old when like the stable release is an ISO standard?
First stable release ISO IEC standard of 1989. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like those languages that a lot of company requires to use it, you usually have a stable ISO standard version for some reason. I guess they just like are really confident that it will work the way they intended. I guess. Because the same goes with APL. Nobody really uses it, but some hardcore uses it, and like they have the ISO standard for that.
Yeah.
Same goes with C and C++, right? I'm pretty sure.
C++ is still being actively like they just released like C++ 17 or something.
Hmm.
At least that's the latest version I've worked with. There's this like, remember when we learned C++ back when we first met?
Yeah.
It's completely different than the C++ we currently use.
Interesting. I guess it is coming. Like the STD was pretty transitory back then already.
There's like smart pointers and like
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like language syntax improvements.
It is coming. It is coming. Like a lot of things needs to be done for that. Oh.
Damn, it's been a long time, eh? When are we celebrating our 10-year anniversary?
What?
Sus.
Sus. When we like, it's like I think we've known each other for like 8 or 9 years now, haven't we?
Yeah, there should be 8 years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gonna have to survive another 2 years for us to get into like. We'll probably just eat out like an all-you-can-eat or something.
Probably. I mean,
Assuming you haven't died from like kidney failure or something.
yeah. I mean, that's how we usually do things, right?
We'll buy another ice cream cake. Did you finish that ice cream cake?
I'm like 3/4 in.
Wow. That's surprisingly less progress than I would have thought.
Yeah, I've been eating out. I've been trying different bingsu places since you left, since you came, because like, yeah, now I really crave bingsu right now.
Well, I mean, I guess you gotta just go all the way up and down Koreatown, eh?
Yeah, I mean the ice chef is fine too. I find some nearby, which is not as fine grained, but pretty close, good enough.
Did you ever watch that Netflix? Well, that Japanese Netflix show about this salaryman who's going around the city looking for desserts?
Ooh, I want that. That speaks to my soul.
I suggested it to you, I think, a while ago as well.
You suggest a lot of things to me. I should start digging up my whole backlog.
The issue is like when someone suggests it to you, usually you just put it in the backlog.
Yeah, that happens every time. Oh, the bank in US use COBOL, but European bank probably doesn't. Fireheld said. Interesting. I guess that kind of makes sense.
I don't know what the name is. Kantaro, the sweet tooth salaryman. Here.
Ah. Well, thank you. I wonder if I still have Netflix membership. Haven't used it at all. Wonder if my family canceled it.
Didn't they crack down on sharing a single Netflix account?
Oh yeah, what? Yeah, what's the deal with that?
I think they tried to crack it down, but the issue is that the business is declining so much that like they can't afford to crack down on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they crack down on it, the number is gonna go even down even further, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is a show about speed cubing. I'll add that to my list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, not like this. When Netflix list is too long. Bass Hunter Dota 2012 Remix win. Sus.
Very sus.
Oh, they bought this boy back in the Abyss.
Yeah.
Season 2?
I've never liked the mechanical ray in the Abyss.
Oh well.
No.
Just too many like phases and too many weird mechanics. Meanwhile, I think they make any of the new introduced bosses or like mobs in the overworld either like have too many weird mechanics that are either neglectable or like I still don't know how like what the raiden boss does.
No. It took
And
me a while
I'm
to
assuming-
figure out the Raiden boss.
But like I'm assuming most people nowadays when they hit the serpent they just unga bunga it. So like its core mechanic of like that like the weird oil shit just doesn't like even trigger in most people's minds.
That's not required, yeah, you can just get past it.
Yeah, I think that's the point. It's like they designed the boss with unique mechanics that are optional. So like its uniqueness just gets toned down somewhat.
That was the most scuffed run of the PMA I've ever done, but it worked.
That's okay. I mean, Hutao Sinchu Go Burr.
Yes.
Collect all the rewards.
And that was only like an hour and a half of suffering.
Ah well. I'm gonna get an ice cream after this.
You wanna take a breather and work on some Paimon Gunpla?
Oh no.
I think you'll actually like this.
Yeah.
I
Like,
haven't done any gunplay in a long time, man.
here. Let's take a break. At least let people watch something else. I just need to find the link for this. It's actually surprisingly small considering how much detail there is in this game as well.
Hmm.
Oh, where did I put this link?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, I played it for a bit. It's actually like pretty.
You have that one? Or
Well, no, it's a free-to-play game.
oh. Oh, that's a different one. I see.
Here's saying change your Actually, I think you might have to close out the game because running two Unity games at once is not good.
That
Question mark?
sounds pretty bad for a game engine. Like, yeah, you cannot run two at the same time. It's gonna crash and burn or something.
Well, I don't know how juiced up his computer is.
Not very.
Well, there's that.
Oh, we have
Well,
a
I've got a-
follow ADHD Bard. Thanks for the following.
Oh, so it's actually a standalone game, is it?
Yeah, it's a standalone game. It's I don't know what I don't know if they're even allowed to make a game like this.
Yeah, isn't it like huh?
You can help me with my moral dilemma. Do I want to go with a portable fix for Stang's issue? Oh no, the probable fix for Stang's issue, or go with a safe fix that increases runtime by 40 seconds. Um, you could perhaps have your cake and eat it too, and just have like a separate weird resolution mode that increases runtime by 40 seconds.
Oh.
Because in general, most people aren't crazy, or I guess, weird enough to have these weird resolutions.
Yeah.
But 40 seconds isn't bad.
I mean, people have complained on the optimizer for like the extra 2 seconds of clicking.
I wonder why. Yeah.
People want instant gratification.
Yeah, I don't even remember how slow it was in the beginning anymore.
Mm.
To be honest.
Yeah, we don't keep like historical data on the optimizer, do we? I think that would be an
Yeah.
interesting stream. Just visit old versions of the optimizer.
Yeah.
Back in the day when it was just like a roll calculator, no
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
And then
Don't
back
we
in the
even
day,
remember how to use it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think
Always
30 seconds at 10% of the time increase. I think fundamentally you want to ensure that your current that's a resolution, right? 1910 doesn't get broken.
Okay, that's good. That's a type. Function moderator special name reference. Yeah. Why not?
I guess that'll do. How do we do this?
I saw it flash onto your stream for a second.
Yeah, it's back now. I'll just
Oh, when you switch scene, you can't hear.
Yeah. Game like this would be dope on VR, not gonna lie.
Okay, Stay, make sure your audio works for this scene.
Yeah, I added a new scene and then realized the audio and everything wasn't set up, so I've just overlaid it on a previous scene now.
Yeah. So this is Gunpla Paimon. Oh, I should probably change stream info. It's still technically Genshin Impact though.
Well,
But what is this thing called again? Something little model or something? Plastic model?
oh, that feels good.
Yeah, no.
What? Where do the pieces go when you cut them out? Do they just
Right click?
Oh. Oh.
Where did the piece go?
Right click again, and it should show you the main working area.
Oh,
You're not gonna follow the manual. You're just gonna wing it.
just wing it. Do it.
Here, attach this to this. No, you have to remove the little oh god, what did it call? Like the little attachment piece to the. If you click middle
Oh,
mouse, you get a manual.
there's a manual.
Yeah, all the pieces are actually labeled properly.
Oh Jesus.
Nah.
I don't like this
What?
already.
Step one
You
and
don't like this?
what the fuck is that?
Ain't
Is that like
nobody
a
got
dog
time for this. Oh
with
shit.
teeth? Oh god. Oh god. So,
Peak suffering.
like I can probably wing it if it's like actual gunpla, but it was like to do that. No, to use the like a mouse and keyboard on top of that.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
there's no keyboard involvement. It's all mouse, I think.
Okay, wait. This one is my Mike email. That's why. That's why I saw it. He probably tweeted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a pretty good animator.
Yeah, the pieces here are very well modeled. Even like things inside the like all the attachments and stuff. They're like a
Yeah.
real design Gunpla pieces.
Mm, yeah, like I could wing this if I was doing it IRL, but it feels awkward as hell.
Yeah.
I think it was fine. I had fun with it.
This is
Oh,
what
for
you're
sure.
doing when you could be developing Go. Oh, building 3D Paimons.
Yeah, I didn't even realize there was a manual until like an hour in. I was just
Oh
mushing
no.
pieces together.
Oh, funny that.
But that's because I'm bad at reading.
D to the D times 2 plus not C. Okay.
Well, the good thing is that you can't assemble it wrong. It wouldn't let you put like the wrong pieces together.
Oh, I would
How
do
come I
that
can't?
IRL.
Even though in Gunpla you probably do it IRL.
Yes.
I
Oh.
have wrecked it like a full Gunpla set before.
Huh. Is this not?
Oh, look at that.
No, you have to click on them.
23 and 22, eh?
I think it's very like satisfying. Oop.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's just like,
You got to
yeah.
trim them even more after you've cut them, and then you can
Yeah, you
bash them
gotta
together. Oh,
right, you gotta remove the spars.
and now you can put the two together. Oh, look at that. 16 and
Yeah,
17.
what I did was like I factory molded. I just removed all the pieces and then like cleaned them up and then put them together. DM him a test version. Yeah, you could DM him a test version. What I'm more concerned with is like you gotta make sure that these changes don't affect your main use case. Like like if I mean if I was you, I wouldn't even be able to support this crazy guy's resolution.
Heh. This is not close. That's it. Yeah. Remove that. And then.
I wish he'd like release more of these kits.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I guess it takes like an astronomical amount of time to even just design one.
For sure.
Like I feel like he could just like I feel like he could just sell these kits now.
Imagine
But
this on VR.
VR might not be too bad, I honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is the real Genshin endgame.
Wait. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, there's a few pieces that look the same that should fit together, but it's actually not the same. Like if one, two, three, and four are the same pieces, and only one, two go together, then you can't put one and three or one and four.
Could be the same model, just use a different ID inside or something.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about modeling, right? Like, oh man, that feels so good. They're like, that you need to trim out the thing.
Here, let me send this to you and waste your entire afternoon.
You know what? Like, what you know what the best play to what? You know what's the best way to play this? Is like if you have the manual like actually printed out or something.
Oh, that'd be sweet. The issue is that the menu is animated.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but like, yeah, if I could do that, that'd be so
Or
dope.
if you could have the menu separately in your iPad.
Oh yes, oh
I
yes.
guess if this is like a full release game with like several models and like Steam Workshop support and other stuff, Yeah, that would be super nice to have like a full like ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of game I will play for hours, even though I have like 2 gunflip sets at home that I haven't touched.
Oh, I can tell.
Oh yeah, you've been to my place.
Yeah, yeah.
You see the shame of my arts and craft backlog.
Buy all the
Oh,
different
tell me
kits, like,
about
oh, I'll build that one day, and then you just don't.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's really bad because like you want to like you buy a kit to build offhand, and then you buy another kit to like build like you will weather it and like fill in like the panel lines and everything, and you never get to the second one.
Right. Yeah, yeah. V. We get a V.
Oh, too many pieces.
Huh.
I love how all the pieces fit together. You have this like nice animation.
Yeah.
There should be like audio from the game. I don't think you're capturing it. Oh wait, actually no, you probably are capturing it, but I have the stream muted. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think I am capturing it.
Uh-oh.
Wait, are
Yeah.
you really? Oh, I thought you were winging it for a moment. I was like, that. Interesting.
I think I can. Oh, this is bad.
What's really creepy is that the Paimon face blinks and stuff.
Oh no.
In the droid. Oh, guess what do I do with the V?
There we go. Now I'm capturing the audio.
Okay, is it Omega? But they are those with those with element is in Navi or string 0. It up.
I think when I first did this one, I just like break out all the pieces. So it was like a crazy mess on the table. You're actually keeping it super neat.
Oh, the controls are still slightly
bit wonky.
unintuitive. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the when you have 2 pieces together that doesn't fit together, you click on the one that you don't want. And I think that's the general disconnect, at least when I played it.
Oh, I've made 2 arms. I think I'm done. I'm finished.
Too much suffering already.
Yep. I think this is for when I'm really bored and I've got nothing else to do. Run out of YouTube. Just sitting here.
Perhaps.
It's a D. Oh, yeah, that's up. This one. That is cool. So that.
I just realized if I change the artifact filters, I'm actually gonna like kind of like break Uba project
Oh.
because
Ah.
they used a build template for each of the characters, right? So if I change the artifact filters, artifact set filters, it's gonna change that template. So they have to update the template for all their experiments.
Well, I think they're done with the data for now, so if they ever start it up again, they won't be adding to the current data. They'll be starting again from scratch.
Yeah.
But their custom version of Go might obviously have to be updated.
Like I guess I guess a lot of these things are kind of scuffed anyways, because they're using a monkey script to change to control optimizer. But there isn't really a more automated way we could offer, other than like building crazy amount of infrastructure on our side.
Ah, well.
Like I still don't feel like it's a good idea for us to have a backend. But then if we do have a backend and people upload their save, it would just be like a good repository for them to conduct their experiments on, and even be a good place for us to um, put our experiments on, whatever that would be.
Ah, well. Function. Monadic. Dyadic. Special value name reference. Okay, that's that. What do you need file? Oh, this is fine. No, what I'm talking about is not.
Oh, interesting. You know, Stan, when you stream on my account, well, to my Twitch, it doesn't show that I'm streaming. But if I open OBS, it shows that I'm streaming.
Oh, so it's just linked to OBS being open.
Yeah, and the OBS, I guess links the rest of the because I'm not streaming on OBS. It just OBS is open. Intriguing.
Hmm.
It means OBS is checking about the stream key, probably. Sorry, I got distracted by something else. Forgot we were even streaming in the first place. Kind of paused my meaningful commentary.
It did go quiet there for a while.
Yeah. Any cope artifacts on the account?
Not really.
Mm.
I did. I have your database open in a Edge tab, so it doesn't mess with mine in Chrome.
Internet Edge.
Yep. And I mustn't have refreshed it since the cookie delete because she was still kind of there. I'm like, hang on a minute, I think I found a bug. No, wait, I just haven't refreshed.
Oh yeah. Huh. I guess when I do upload the website, it doesn't auto refresh because it wouldn't check for a new version until you refresh.
Yeah.
Whereas in a developer server, it would just update whenever the code was changed.
The icon, like the profile icon, was gone and everything, so it was just a broken image, but the tile was still there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because it wouldn't be able to link to a correct or coherent image.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I guess for the foreseeable future, we'll see the return of Cookie. If anything, I haven't seen anyone complain or talk about her at all.
Yeah, well, because her hangout isn't available in game yet, she's not even playable in game, so I don't suppose anyone really cares at this point.
No, doubt anyone would.
And plus, it doesn't appear that she's a DPS character, so she's going to be one of these characters that don't optimize well. Like, you're likely to be forcing some kind of set or forcing some kind of main stat on her anyway to, bring the best of her kit out.
Or maybe you should just go the way of like Sayu or something and just be completely forgotten or outclassed by every other Nemo character in the game.
I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, the more character they add, the more of these characters are gonna exist.
The fact that they've made Yelan so good gives me some hope that they've done well by Cookie.
I don't know. When's the last time they released a good 4-star?
Good answer.
Well, Diona and Rosaria are both good. Which one came first? I can't remember.
Let's see. Genshin character by release history. That work? That works. Yunjin was pretty much forgotten immediately, even though she was relatively relevant. Goro who is that? Helma? Who is that? Fujo Sara is only really good for riding Shogun, and he shows.
Yeah, Sarah needs to be C6 and just sticks with Shogun, and then she's fine.
Yeah.
I suppose Goro is fine, but again, he has to stick with Ito to be useful. Yeah. Yunjin doesn't really have a place yet. Like, people are trying to force her in with Yoimiya, but it just doesn't feel natural.
No, it doesn't. So this is Sayu was released version 2.1. So since version 2.1, no good 4-star. Version 2.0, nope. Version 1.6 is Yanfei. Hufei? I don't know. And then version 1.5 is Rosaria.
Yeah.
Diona was released 1.1. So I guess Rosaria was the last good, but like Rosaria wasn't like a game-changing 4-star.
No. Diona's pretty staple in a lot of comps, so I think she's. But you could almost say Diona's a release character because she would have been done at release, and they just brought her out in 1.1.
Yeah, but like Diona kind of holds a weird. Diona is only like the best shield heal support that you can do, because I mean, do we have another heal heal shield support in the game that's not Diona?
What is it almost point?
I don't think so. Plus, she's cryo, so she gives you that, 1/2 of the cryo resonance.
Right. So Diona isn't good because her kit is good. Diona's only good. Well, okay, technically she's only good because her kit offers something that no other 4-star have currently have.
But isn't that what makes her good? You know,
Perhaps, but I feel like Diona. I feel like Diona, other than the fact that she heals and his shields, doesn't really provide anything else. She has a weird mechanic where she provides like EM to character above a certain health threshold, but no one cares about that. She has and her she doesn't exactly provide herself as a like other okay, you take away the shield and heal one, what is Diona? Just a very boring cryo character with not much nuance. And in terms of personality, very little to do. And in terms of okay, let's not even talk. Let's talk pure mechanic.
yeah.
Like if there was another shield heal character, like if Yunjin somehow heal shield and provide the attack buff, or like if Toma provides a healing, wait, does Toma provide healing? Who is Toma?
No. I think it's just a shield.
Yeah, I feel like they keep nerfing the shield mechanic, so characters who are pure shield that's not Zhongli is just kind of outclassed by the fact that Zhongli exists in the game.
Now, every other shield feels terrible in comparison to Zhongli. I got
Yeah.
C4 Yunfei when I got Yelan. I'm like, oh, I can play Taint Fei now. Her shield is next to useless. Like, essentially one hit and it's gone. Like, well,
I have
why?
C6 Yanfei. Still not tempted to build her.
Like, why would you try to play around that? It's not worth it. It's a wasted spot to try and use her as a shielder.
Okay, well, I mean, there are worse shielders in the game. Like, what is this one called? Xing Yan? I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I
I don't
never
know.
played her as a shielder
Oh man, scuffed as balls. Because Xing Yan was released with Zhongli, so like, come on. And then the permanent characters, none of them are very nuanced. Noelle is probably the only other 4-star that shields and heals. The issue is that she only has like 50% shield uptime unless you like play her actively. So like if you don't play Noelle as like an active tanky DPS, she's useless. She's effectively useless as a support. She has a passive that gives you a shield if your health goes low enough, but that goes on cooldown for so long that it doesn't even matter.
though.
Beidou provides a shield, I guess, but like no one plays Beidou as a shield support. So really, pure shield supports are the pinnacle of suckage because of the fact that Zhongli exists and they keep nerfing shields by introducing mechanics that go through shields.
I mean, Beto is fine for some damage mitigation, especially if you play her in like a taser comp with Xingqiu, because they got two forms of damage mitigation,
Yeah,
so it's
but
fine.
guess which other 4-star has damage mitigation that's not overloaded at all?
Yeah, Xingqiu.
Yeah. And he does all the damage mitigation by not being active at all. Whereas with Beidou, you actually have to be kind of Beidou. You actually have more field time.
Yeah, she definitely requires more field time. I remember that.
No, that's the unfortunate part about Genshin is just like honestly think 4-stars are kind of like other than like the one or two that are always used, like 4-stars are kind of the worst.
Yeah.
And they haven't released any sort of game-changing 4-star. And I almost feel like they are afraid to release a game-changing 4-star.
Yeah, I don't think they'll release anyone on the same level as like Xingqiu or Bennett or Zhangling ever again as a 4-star.
Sayu with the bell. Interesting. Let me just Google up what the bell does because I have not read its passive for at least 6 months.
Be right back, hang on.
Taking damage generates a shield, absorb damage up to 20% on max HP, shield lasts for 10 seconds or until broken. I don't know. The shield uptime is, assuming shields are procced at any chance it has, the shield uptime is less than it's like 20%. And then the damage gains increased damage for that 20% of the time of uptime. But then you have a secondary HP stat, Claymore. Why did they this weapon? Every time I read it, it's the pinnacle of suck.
Ah, well.
Joking, by the way, the bell sucks. Yeah, it does suck. It does suck. But like I think it's really too bad because I actually really do enjoy like how the bell is designed. The clock on the side of the claymore is like super nice. Like if it wasn't for the fact that it's entirely crippled by its design, I'd see a lot of people use the bell. Oh, hello. Octaveranus 05. Hopefully I'm not butchering. Octavianus. I'm just not going to try to pronounce anyone's names.
Just double down butchering it. You'll be fine.
You either double down butchering it or you micro butcher it enough to apologize for it.
Yeah.
Coming from someone whose name is literally just computer generated gibberish without a single vowel.
Technically, Y is a vowel.
Okay, why is a vowel only in the sense that if you want to go down deep enough in history?
Fine. Wait, what's going on?
What's going on?
Something's going on.
Okay.
Nothing's happening. There's no worrying bossing say.
Okay.
I can see why you don't want to try and pronounce that name. Like, I'm pretty sure I know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
We're a family friendly stream without family friendly content.
Oh, we're almost capping. Even though it's been capped for how many months?
Oh man. So what do we do with this account? Because like at least on my account there's the eventual promise that I'll eventually play it. But like in this account, do you ever see yourself coming back to this, Lantura?
Not at all.
So what do you do?
All yours. Good luck. Have fun.
The issue
is
this account doesn't have anything that you don't fundamentally have on your account.
No, and also the worst part of Genshin is having to repeat all the mundane stuff. So I wouldn't want to just play the account for doing all the quests and all the events and all that, because you do it once for the enjoyment on your main account and that's it. So yeah, trying to progress, like, it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes on because you'll be just locked out of so many new areas.
Yeah, but like fundamentally, like what are you getting out of this account? Because like eventually it's getting to the point where like you don't have access to like most of the new material. So even if you do roll for new characters,
Hmm.
Yeah.
like it was an interesting challenge to revive a pretty dead account and then like get pretty high up on Abyss. But I feel like that's a goal with like a definite end.
Yeah. Like, I think now I could 36 star. Maybe not this Abyss. Maybe if we had good cards, I could probably 36 star. But, yeah, I did
Well,
start building Kokomi, but the problem was I was running out of materials, and I just got too bored to continue farming materials.
yeah. But like I think at this point, like I think you've proven your point that you could revive a account in like less than a week with like relatively minimal amount of well, okay, not minimal amount of work, but with the even with the I guess the how do we say it the scuffed beginning that you had.
Hmm.
Yeah. Ah well. Ah well.
And
It
to
is.
roll for new characters, you need to do dailies for primal gems, right? So you yeah. I say maybe like log in once a month to something. I don't know, but like I say probably don't commit too much into this account.
No. Like, I've been farming artifacts just for the sake of it. Because the artifacts were probably the worst part of this poor account.
Yeah,
And
makes
so,
sense.
I've foddered so many of them and got them down to like 170 odd artifacts now. And they're
No,
mainly all plus 20s.
you just
I
don't
think it's
understand the gem.
we don't have enough artifacts for a full team, like full 2 team Abyss clear.
There's probably enough artifacts. This account is lacking a lot of emblem. Like, that's all I've been doing so far, so I don't have many emblem pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder what MiHoYo's gonna do in terms of artifacts because I keep complaining just on a general use. There isn't a lot of general used artifact sets that could be used by everyone. We have like Gladiator, we have something like well obviously Emblem, and then we have like one or two other ones that are not as mainstream. But like they keep releasing character specific ones. So
Now,
like this just makes it so that we just double down on Emblem. Because you can't exactly farm gladiators, they just happen to be upon you. I guess you
yeah.
could technically farm gladiators by opening those bloody boxes, but why would you?
And you can use the strong box as well.
Yeah. I think that's the box I was referring or I were talking
Oh,
oh no. I guess the abyss boxes as well. But like currently nothing trumps emblem. It's just too good.
and the fact that like
Well, it's not too
Yelan,
good, I guess. But my point was that even if it's not too good, it's good in the case that there isn't many other uh, general use artifact sets.
but even Yelan is still using sort of emblem as her best in slot, so new characters still want it.
Yeah, it's weird because like I didn't expect them to release a 5-star without like a accompanying artifact set. And Elon's actually using up some of the neglected emblem sets that have like high HP rolls.
Hmm.
Because like what other character that scales with HP that uses emblem? Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know, Zhong Li, it's cringe. Xing Yan, which doesn't exist in the game yet.
Well, Xingqiu has some HP scaling, doesn't he? So it wouldn't be
I think it's
wasted on him, but you wouldn't want to aim for it.
yeah, but then he scales off of damage much significantly better. Much significantly better. It being a grammatically correct sentence.
It's okay.
So like, if anything, like Xing Yan is given to you pretty much for free as long as you've grinded some emblem and you hope him enough to keep some of the high HP rolled artifacts. Hmm. I think it's time for you to like, just keep the 2 accounts and then like, I don't know, cheat on Genshin with some other games.
Probably.
We could probably find the time to play some GTFO or something.
That sounds so tedious.
What?
Like having 2 accounts.
Well, I mean, currently, Genshin is only like his only active playing game, right? You're not still playing Destiny 2, are you?
No, I tried to go back with the latest update, and so I played through the bit that's free, and it was good, but it just didn't click like I was hoping it would. So I don't know if I can go back to Destiny.
Yeah, I tried to go back to Warframe, and there is so much feature creep that like is entirely a separate game.
Hmm.
And all my old gear literally doesn't make sense because of all the balancing changes they've done, and I just didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, there's the whole grind where it takes forever to get to a point where you're strong in the game and you can actually utilize and the things you need. Where it's fine when you're just starting a game where you can actually play through the story and learn the mechanics and have fun along the way, but when you already know that and it's just literally the grind, I don't know if you can do it unless you're some kind of masochist that likes that.
I mean, I think a lot of people will find catharsis in the repeating simple grind. I mean, like, I know fundamentally that even I, to some extent, likes grinding, but like, grinding must return some sort of eventual value. And when you haven't played the game at all, the perceived value of whatever you're grinding has depreciated too much.
Yeah. Like, there'd be weekends on Destiny where you just play the same content over and over and over and over just to get one gun with certain roles. Like, you'd grind constantly.
Right, but that's when you're like immersed in the game. You have like that gun has a value.
But now, like, to do that, to come back and then think, oh, this new gun is meta, I'll go for these particular roles, you just don't have the desire and the push to do it.
Right. And
especially when you're under-leveled to actually do the activity in the first place. So you need to go grind your level and your gear to get to the point where you can, comfortably even do the new event activity.
Yeah, for sure. I think I quit Warframe when they released the Riven system, which is like a complete RNG or more RNG system that gives you like random stats based on random weapons and stuff. And like when you go, and since you can only get like 1 a day conceivably, I like for you to return to the game and want to cap up the meta, you would literally have to pay like the in-game currency for the Riven by trading it with another player or something. And like at that point, like, does it really matter?
Mm-hmm.
Too many games nowadays demand our attention. It's really hard to split attention between them.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand the rationale why you would keep to Genshin. Honestly, low commitment. Even for 2 accounts, there's not too much time.
No, when I'm not doing the events on 2 accounts, I'm just doing artifact farming. It's bugger all, really.
Yeah.
But then you got to ask yourself, why bother doing it just for artifact farming?
Well, at least my account is still being kept alive because I do the events and try to do the quest.
Yeah.
But on Lanchua's account, it seems a bit doomed. But it was a good experiment, at least. You revived the dead account in pretty much no time.
I mean, it
And
had
it was
some
able
good
to
foundation.
do 12.
The foundation was there, though, with Hu Tao and Ganyu. So
yeah,
it was already set up with some of the strongest characters to start with. It just needed to be tweaked. It would be a good account for someone who maybe lost an account and still wanted to keep playing. So they wouldn't have to start from scratch, they'd have some kind of base.
You could keep it as like a theory crafting account or something.
Oh, the problem though is that theory crafting requires new characters, which I don't have.
Well, we could just log in every month for the CC rewards.
I guess. And
Did
hope
the
for the
elite
best and rolling.
did the elite route when there was nothing else to do in Genshin? Are you part of the elite farming group? Are you part of the Mora server?
What is that?
A lot of people, when there was like a severe content drought, started banding together to farm elites. And
What do they do?
they basically farm elites on each other's worlds until their material cap to 9999.
That's interesting.
I guess it's a way to, I don't know, catharsize the grind.
Oh well.
I wouldn't be able to speak in their perspective where they get out of it, since I don't fundamentally understand why they do it. For most people, they only grind enough so that their latest character is leveled up. They wouldn't grind it until you hit material cap. But
I was farming elites just in my own world when Mora was an issue. But after I just bit the bullet and did heaps of Mora ley lines, I've never bothered with running around the elites in my world anymore.
I guess elite farming is a good way to get more at the get more without the ley lines, so you could dedicate more resin towards artifact farming.
Yeah.
And I guess there are people who also go on like artifact routes or something. I mean, I guess there are technically like things you could do in Genshin when you run out of resin.
Yeah, you gotta really want to play the game at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill all 600 more elites and some 200 more elites. The cap is 400. Always get to that every day. Oh yeah, there is a elite cap. So you can only farm a certain arbitrary number of elites before they stop giving you Mora. I don't know if they still give you the elite drops. I guess fundamentally I don't quite understand that part of the community, so I can't really speak for what they get out of it.
I think I've done enough Mora and elite farming and artifact farming now on my account that I'd never need to do it again. I've got enough materials from killing mobs that I don't think I'll ever want for any particular material, unless it's obviously new stuff from a new region.
Yeah, chances are it's always going to be new stuff from new regions.
It's okay.
It's like when
yeah.
Nazuma came out and we had to go around collecting the Sakura blossoms. It was the most terrible thing we could do.
Bit asinine it was.
Equip an Electro character and then just walk around zapping trees.
Dang. Honestly, it's tedious if you do it alone, but it's quite fun when you want to party with people you know. Yeah, but at that point, you just kind of more like just chatting and chill, I guess, and just have something to do in the background.
At that
Pretty
point, you
much
might
what
as
we're
well
doing.
watch Netflix or something.
Yeah, I guess, but if you just, I mean, this is pretty much what we're doing, right? I think it's been at least an hour and a half since we talked about anything about the optimizer. We're just kind of chilling while watching Stain do something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of, like, remember that PR about pivoting?
Oh right, pivots. I forgot
Yeah.
that was his name.
Funny that it was the bug since what? When I last refactored it, and I forgot to change one of the pivot parameters, so it's like now everything has no pivot. and nobody complains.
Interesting.
So like, is anybody actually use it? I wonder.
What is it?
Or it's like they're
I don't
because
know. Okay,
yeah.
but like a very small percentage of our users actually read like the actual formulas. But I think part of it is because our formulas are computer generated now, and it's like incredibly tedious to read. So maybe the pivots will actually get people to understand it better.
Hopefully. Yeah.
But I don't think anyone actually used like the extended formula stuff that we had. Or so is either the case that we need to make the tooltip be like expandable, which I don't think it's quite possible to do without it being like super janky UI, or we somehow make it so that you could click on the formula and then it opens that formula in the like extended formula view or something.
Sounds dope and sounds hard.
It's not too hard. If anything, I think it's probably easier to make it a pop-up or something.
I mean, if you within a pop-up it's gonna be another formula, right? Can you do a pop-up within a pop-up so that when you hover on it, you can do another pop-up?
Well, okay. First of all, I think you're confusing tooltips with pop-ups.
Okay.
But yeah, we could do that. In the old system, we couldn't actually, but now we can.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the other thing is like, what is our current state of like lazy loading right now? Like, if I open a Shishi page, is it loading Yelan's data in the background?
Yes.
Ah, figured. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the database or like the data sheet down there is structured so that at some point we can just load as needed at some point.
Yeah, guess so.
Yeah. Because I remember that we separate each and every one of them into its own separate promise. So like you can download the Chishi's data together with like Xingshu's data together with Hutao's data. Like you can piecemeal that. It's just that we never actually do anything. And it never becomes really a problem, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, no, so lazy loading is kind of a like currently it works, but it's not like perfect.
Hmm.
And there's definitely a lot of polishing step we could do. I
I
think
guess it's
for two tips, I think you still have to fundamentally load everything, like everything that's connected. Like Chi she will still have to load. Yeah. So you have if you have a character that Bennett buffs, then you have to load that character plus the Bennett cheat.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
there's
For
no
sure.
getting away from that. But for some of the other stuff, like the drop downs, where all you need is the character face and then the character name, we could separate the character name into a separate translation file, and then you only load that single translation file, which makes it easier.
Yeah, because right now similar thing happens to artifact, right? Like we need the entire artifact data just to read its name when you try to edit the set name.
Yeah, well, artifacts are different because we tend to use like the entire set of artifacts for like calculations and stuff. So usually artifacts are loaded together anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Just to draw a parallel on that. Oh well.
Oh
At
well.
least I guess it's not that big of a deal right now because how large is the website? 2 gigabyte? 2 megabytes?
Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah, especially if you're running it, you're probably running it with a good internet, so it's gonna take no time to load it at all. The
Yeah.
the problem is just like do the computation, preparing this, preparing that, run around, do another computation, run around, do
Honestly,
get
like even like if we lazy load excessively, it's like not too bad. It's like there are worse things on the websites we need to focus on, like some like build times or like
yeah, that's
bad
not a
UI.
bottleneck. Yeah, that's not a bottleneck right now. Yeah.
It just eases our OCD to make it so that it works perfectly in this context.
Yeah. And remember that thing about the filter to find only build that is strictly superior? Yeah, nothing came out of that. I really couldn't figure out how to make it faster.
Mm-hmm.
It is super finicky, right? Like it would work relatively well if you have 5 or 10 builds in your setting, but otherwise the overhead might be too much for like 1 or 2 builds, unfortunately. So
Well,
yeah.
there's not much we could do about it. If we're gonna have a pure brute force algorithm, we either we either deterministically decrease the calculation space, or we don't have brute force.
Yeah. Oh, for those who listening, is like the idea was that if we filter all the artifacts so that we only keep the build that is better than the one being equipped right now, there's a good chance it might improve the performance. It might get faster. But turns out there's the overhead associated with that is also pretty expensive, so it's not very clear cut. And I don't really want to have the user decide like, yeah, do I know whether or not that overhead is worth it? So yeah.
Okay, my opinion is that if it's gonna incur like a significant overhead anyways, and it doesn't, and it sometimes doesn't return you a valid result, you might as well just go through the entire brute force space.
Yeah.
But I think we hit pretty much the limit on what we could do in terms of brute force.
Mm,
Discord Nitro ran out 2 weeks ago. You could create like a beta release on GitHub or something.
not sure. Yeah, what can we do on the current state? Like in terms of performance, I have no idea. Like, yeah,
Because like all the future features that we're gonna add are gonna basically increase the build time.
yeah.
I mean, they're the right things to do, and they're the things that that will eventually. Okay, there's no stopping these features, right? So like, we guess, uh, I don't know. We'll have to.
Well, when the
I,
time comes, it will come. Like there are a few things I can think of if we are going to do something about like multiple target.
well, multiple
It's
target, you could save like pre-calculated components.
yeah, especially if we only allow applying formulas, it still fall into a very narrow set of like formula. Like it is still take a certain shape. So there's still a few tricks I can do. So, but it is hard to tell without the actual formula to work with right now. Like I cannot try to just code it in advance and hope for the best. So yeah,
Well,
it
since
it will come.
what about for like smaller features? Let's not say this, but like for example, there is still a use case for multi-target where some of the later target might benefit from a buff that's only for some of the later targets in the rotation. And
Yeah.
then if that changes the attack, that means that for those later targets you have to recalculate the attack. You can't reuse the same attack.
Or the attack.
Okay, the attack you could reuse, but then it has to be added on. So like the majority of the damage formula still needs to be recalculated.
Yeah. The thing about caching is like if I cannot prove that it 100% will cache, like if the attack has even the tiniest chance of having a different value, like because it's from
I
a different
don't think
buff
you should
there.
use the word chance. That makes it sound like we don't have a deterministic system.
Okay, if there is some combinations that leads to a different value of the attack, like okay, the normal attack has this certain okay, normal attack has certain attack. If the move A has a certain attack and move B has a different attack, in some combinations, we really cannot cache that. I tried many different ways to say like, okay, can we detect that? And otherwise, can we like use use the calculated value elsewhere. Every time I try, it ends up being slower because like you need to figure out whether or not that number is the same, and that thing is like, how can
So
you?
the process in which you try to figure out whether it's the same is more expensive than just recalculating a number.
Yeah, because recalculating a number is like what 10 multiplication or something. So it is pretty hard to get lower than that, unfortunately.
So
yeah.
it ends up being that no matter how much time you try to save on calculation, the time in which you determine whether you should use the old value is more than just recalculating the number in the first place.
Yeah.
So you're basically wasting a lot of CPU time trying to be smart, and I guess extra memory overhead as well.
Yeah. Yeah, remember that thing about like in a database there's some point in time when you add more computer and like so like in a database, in a data center, like you add more computer, it's generally getting faster, right? But there's certain point that if you add more computer it's actually getting slower because it is actually getting harder for computer to talk to each other. So like
Right.
they spend
Just
too much time
overhead.
talking than actually do the work. Just sounds just like real life.
I wonder if there is a. Yeah, it's. I wonder. Basically, well, I guess the fundamental issue is that is there a faster cache lookup time?
I doubt that I can find it in JavaScript. It's kind of
Well, okay. Think about it this way. What if we assign a specific ID to a node, and then the calculated results will be mapped to that ID, as long as that node doesn't get changed, or I guess if we find duplicate nodes that get the same ID, we could use the ID as lookup. Or is that already happening in the system? I just don't know about it.
well, what happens right now is that if the node is provably identical, it will get merged right during the optimization phase.
Oh right, it would just link to the same reference.
Yeah, only that. Only
And
for
then
provable.
and then each node is cached on that reference.
Yeah, so it's not a big problem. The slight difference is when like okay, there's an attack, and then there's an attack with buff. So the best attack is still cache because
Okay,
they're
what about caches that are outside of the system? For example, if you have two separate trees that are largely similar, but one tree has like 10 more attack, is there a way to use the cache value from one tree for the other?
Technically we can actually. That because what we can do is when we optimize, we put in multiple formulas in there, right? And what happens is that it will try to combine everything across every formula. So like if there's something that is the same across multiple formulas, it can totally detect that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where you're going with this. Like, are you planning on like having Formula A, Formula B, and then because in the end, if we add them together, it's just one big formula, right? And the current state is it can already merge, combine, optimize that single formula equally as well when we combine each individual formula and then like put them back together. So like
So I
they're
guess
just about the
my
same.
suggestion just added complexity for nothing.
Yeah, it just add more lines of code to do essentially the same thing, unfortunately.
So really, there is not much to do here.
Yeah, like I guess what it is still open end whether or not I can improve on the pruning, though I don't have anything in particular. And the other thing is like I can not sure, like there could be some tricks to like to do in a hot loop because I feel like that there's some like I don't know.
We don't really have good benchmarking for the hot loop either.
Yeah, I try to roll the benchmark for that. It just ends up being hot garbage. The number is so inconsistent. Because like when you run in a PC as a test case and when you run on the actual website, somehow they are different. They get like totally different numbers. It doesn't appear on on your computer, it appears on mine. I don't know why. Could be an M1 issue. Could be, might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we get into like specific CPU architecture optimization, and then we just there's no way.
Yeah.
That's just suffering.
Hmm.
Oh, are you suffering enough?
Oh, not yet. It's only floor 9 or 10, whatever it is.
Are you not entertained?
There is a noticeable difference with how the game plays at different pings. Like, I'm missing a whole lot of activations of bursts and such, because they're not ready to go off yet.
No wonder people mash button.
Ultimately, it's, I mean, there's, There's another thing we could technically do, and I hate it.
Say it.
We make Optimizer a distributed network. We have P2P calculations.
Okay, who's gonna join there? People who are trying to optimize.
Well, people who has their tab open and aren't calculating can calculate for other people.
Whatever you're smoking.
All those
That's
crypto
cool.
farms that aren't being used anymore.
We'll gold coin incoming. Oh no, not like this.
Oh no. Yeah, I always wonder, like, is there a way? Is there like kind of business model that people can just like keep using the product? I guess Facebook is one of them, so never mind that. Like they're kind of like a free product, but like if you keep using it, it's gonna profit us somehow.
Yeah, it's always gonna profit off you in some way. Oh, you gotta kill the Hydro Boy, dude.
I know. I was just hoping I could, like, brute force through it.
Yeah.
Yes, gold coin incoming. Gold coin when ICO when. Oh dear. Excuse me.
Yeah, I can't think of any way out of this mess. Currently, I think we've coded ourselves into we designed ourselves into a rut, basically.
Is it a rot though?
It's basically we can't maintain. Well, we can't have the best of both worlds. We either have multi-target, but it will cost extra time, or
well, let's be precise here because computing more complex formula is gonna cost extra time. That's just a fact.
yeah, well that's a fact. But there's no conceivable way to decrease the time in which we do those calculations.
Now we're gonna hit a limit at some point, especially like if you're gonna stay with the brute force method to guarantee the optimal result.
Yeah, and we're only limited by CPU. I mean, GPU calculation support is hoping a miss. There's no way we have time for that.
I mean, technically the underlying structure would support GPU if someone bothers to code it in.
Yeah, but like, who's gonna debug that code?
Huh. Ah well. How is the GPU support on web work even?
That's question number 2 of infeasibility.
And somebody find like a library somewhere or like a GPU, we can look into that, I guess. I have Kokomi? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I
What do you
built
mean you
a,
don't remember that?
Ah well.
He was level 1, so you must have pulled just for the sake of it.
I guess. Yeah, it got pretty bred dead later on, around that time. Yes, needs GPU to support Gold Coin, of course.
Dang. We're really the culprit of global warming, aren't we?
Yeah.
We need to buy like carbon tokens to offset the amount of carbon we induce on our user.
Also, technically speaking, like if we can parallelize, like somehow multi-thread, or we are doing multi-thread, if you can use the GPU, it should speed up by a lot because like the hot loop is totally parallelizable. We just like try different builds, different numbers.
Well, yeah, because that's how we did multi-threading because it's inherently parallel.
Not just that, because the thing about parallelism is that CPU parallelism and GPU ones are quite different in terms of like restriction, and this thing is totally GPU friendly. Good in luckily enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like the thing about GPU is like you cannot have too much memory, you cannot branch too much or something, otherwise you're gonna get penalized.
GPU.js, not like this.
Yep. Someone is gonna look into that. Someone is gonna PR that.
I mean,
like,
that's literally probably like the first that's probably the first search result you get off Google.
probably. I mean, if who's gonna maintain that? Like, I guess if I add it, I gotta keep it working.
Yeah, if we add it, we're in the hoop forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
But even then, how the hell would that even work? Some computers don't like if we're talking about like a mobile device, it wouldn't inherently have a GPU, right?
Well, what the hell are you talking about? Mobile device nowadays have GPUs. It's just like, would we be able to access it though?
Oh, that's another question, I guess.
Yeah.
Create kernel, a fancy word for the function that runs on a GPU. That's not what kernel means!
Well, technically the GPU lingua kernel has a different meaning, but it's okay.
Oh, well wait, no, you have to push these functions as matrices.
Yes.
Cringe.
It's okay. Just think of it as MATLAB or something, or PyTorch plus or some.
Plus,
not
plus,
PyTorch.
plus, and a few minus at the end.
Ha.
Yeah, I don't think this is sustainable.
But if the device isn't accessible, like on mobile or whatever, or it's not powerful enough, you just fall back on your standard CPU.
Okay, yeah, but then that implies that we have to keep two versions of the calculation engine.
To be honest, I kind of think that it might work. Like, it would work out.
Oh god,
if
you just get nurse sniped?
No, I'm not gonna bother doing that. Like, if someone is gonna convert it, be my guess, because it is still not a trivial amount of work to do.
I don't think it's a good use of our time.
Oh well. Yeah, create a kernel.
But you still have to convert your calculations into matrices.
It is almost done. actually.
Seriously?
Especially, yes, because like the hot loop is I prepare the hot loop so that if we ever get into those kind of like Cindy, I can convert that easily, in most forms.
Hmm. Well, if you want to spend some time on this, you can. But there's still other things I think we could use our time for. By the way, did you ever look into that like enemy-based namespace?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that already.
Yeah, I think in cases like for example the double cryo resonance where you have increased crit rate, but only in the context of the enemy, that's probably the only solution.
Yeah.
Because I think on the character sheet side, we actually have like we create a separate display node for those calculations, which is kind of cool.
There's so many special namespaces like team buff, tally. It's I don't know how to feel about that. Oh well.
You don't have to feel about anything about it. This is your life now. Accept it.
Oh well.
This is unless you could think of a more smarter solution.
Yeah, I guess it's also just me trying to avoid digging back into that team buff construction.
Well, I think that team buff construction will warrant you to rewrite it eventually.
There. Yeah. What's the function called again? To create UI data from team buff for team buff.
Like that.
Yeah.
But okay. I guess like enemy namespace shouldn't be like an entire architectural rewrite.
It shouldn't be. If anything, a lot of things after, including team buff, it has just been like we trying to move the data, the nodes around in a way that is easier to manage.
Yeah.
We haven't like fundamentally changed anything just yet.
Oh yeah. So another thing is I guess the base, being able to override the base health and stuff, which is very difficult because effectively you'll have to. Actually, it's not too difficult, but okay. So the base is calculated based on the actual base and then the HP curve, right?
Yeah.
And then if you want to override that, you basically you'll have to take either if an override exists, use the override.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like we had a good discussion last time. We just couldn't decide what to do when the data is present. Like, do we just add to it? Do we just override it? What?
I think at the end it's override.
No, it's not just that. At some point, we have both. We have both adding and overriding. Like, if we only have like the adding,
additional,
we just add them. Yeah,
I think we separated them now, so it's much easier to see which ones override, which ones, because the overrides are actually called overrides.
Yeah. No,
So,
I
like,
mean.
In this case, we could do. In this case, I think you wouldn't have this confusion.
No. I mean, at some point we have both the base additional and base override. We have both, and we couldn't decide what to do if both of them are not zero or not empty, and we just confuse and we just remove them. Well.
I think now that confusion is gone.
I guess.
So if you want to add in the base one,
yeah, the base override. I guess you gotta hook that up.
we could hook it up.
Yeah, I could hook it up. Well. Oh, shit. I'm fine.
Yeah, so that's a thing. And then I guess non-stackable buff is always gonna be kind of a haunt, unless you extend the tally system that counts, or at least make it so that each one of those is unique somehow.
Yeah, the non-stackable buff is unfortunate because what happens is that I originally designed a system thinking that the stackable is more common.
Except unique is more common, so I guess this is part of a redesign if we ever get there.
Yeah. Not sure what to do. Like, either we're gonna beef up the tally namespace, or we could do something bigger, like maybe adding a new kind of node. But then again, like adding a new kind of node is a large amount of work, because the entire system depends on the interaction between them. Like if you add two nodes, they can have like, okay, what if you multiply before uniquing, or if you add two numbers before uniquing or something? Like there's a lot of action.
Yeah, so if is it possible that we could have so for example, is it possible for us to tag a specific node with the ID, and we could make it so that no matter whichever form that node, even if the numbers are different, only one instance can come in, can be used.
That's
And
very,
then the question becomes which of the instance.
yeah, that's a very interesting idea actually.
Most of the time, which instance doesn't matter. Like for example, if you have two noblesse buffs, they're gonna be the same. The only thing difference is gonna have if you have two weapon buffs, but they're different refinement. But then a user, in that case, that's a kind of a user error. So we just basically pick one. It doesn't matter which one, because at the end that's a user error. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That might work. If it have like, okay, this thing is nobles buff, that thing is nobles buff, that thing is nobles buff, just use one.
Yeah.
That might work. I would need to think about it some more.
Okay, again, that's the I guess tagging it to be unique is a mechanism we need to introduce for our sheets, and you need to refactor for every instance of team buff.
Yeah.
But like other than that, it shouldn't be too bad once we have the system in place.
And also I need to look into the that probability feature.
Yeah. We talking about Toothless, or we're talking about like the existing probability feature?
Toothless. Toothless is probably just gonna that one is probably gonna supersede our current implementation.
Yeah, definitely. We could reuse the probability calculation we currently have, so there wouldn't be any like technically wasted code.
We'll see about that. It seems it's, yeah, we'll see about that.
I think the code can still pretty much be reused, if I understand the math correctly. But we still have to understand there is fundamental caveat, it being a greedy selection.
Well, there is that, but that is something that needs to be conveyed to the user, and well, I'll leave that to you. I'm not sure how that's gonna work either. Like, are you gonna post it with the paper with that PDF, or are you gonna have some pop-up, or I don't know.
That's UX design. We'll worry about UX design once we have our own prototype implementation.
And also, I don't have time to go dig too deep into that.
I think instead of digging into it, we just need to implement our own. It'd be faster.
Both. I don't think I have time to do either, to be honest, right now. So it's gonna be a little tricky.
Well, if you don't have time, then I mean, this isn't a necessary core feature, right? This is well, I mean, we both know that if we're gonna implement something like this, we're in here for the long haul. So there's no rush. There's no rush in doing this. We just need to make sure we're doing it right, and we're doing it in the way that we accept.
Yeah. Well, someone's gonna get restless, but such is a fact of life.
I mean, come on, the man waited 6 months before his mathematics paper gets approved or even read by someone from Kikiko. I'm sure Toothless isn't the impatient one here.
On the other hand, it could also be that it is running dry. But anyway.
Well,
Okay.
either way, I mean, this is the balls in our core. We decide how we play it.
Huh. My game, my rule.
Yeah, and I mean, like, no matter what, this is still just a passion project. If IRL gets in the way, IRL gets in the way.
It is,
It
unfortunately.
is what it is.
I guess that's one thing I kind of feel like that the Genshin is lacking. Like, it is not particularly mechanically demanding.
Are you talking about in terms of gameplay?
Yeah, at some point I love the exploration.
Exploration was good in terms of its action-based combat. It really comes down to how like you select your team.
Yeah, like
Because
I
once you
don't-
select your team, there's really fundamentally like one or two ways you could play the team.
yeah, which is essentially a number game, which I don't really like too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I understand. That's why things like the optimizer is so popular. It's because fundamentally you only really need to calculate and theory craft it once.
Yeah,
If it's a pure action-based game, yeah, like even for like more action-based characters like Ito, a lot of theory crafters would have issues calculating its like animation frames and such.
yeah.
If we do like a damage over time calculation, it will be incredibly difficult.
Oh,
Good
I
thing
mean,
we're not dumb enough to undertake something like that.
huh.
I think every time I talk to SRL, he's complaining that why did he start this frame counting bullshit?
Oh well, it is quite typical. When someone does something like related to time or something, it's gonna go up a notch.
Yeah. Like even if we do implement like a multi-target, it's not going to be like a damage over time. It's just going to be pure damage calculation.
Yeah, it is that someone else has gotta figure out the damage over time, convert that to.
Well, basically, if like the only way to do it if somehow the data mine provides it.
Yeah. That is why like we had a lot of discussion about not merging, like having a format that GSIM can export and Go can import or something.
Yeah, but that gets into the chicken and egg problem of you need the optimizer to optimize a specific rotation, and then you put into GSIM to calculate the weights, and then you put the weights into optimizer again to optimize again those weights, and then you use the optimized results into GSIM to calculate the weights again, and you know, I mean, yes, in a few cycles it might converge, or it might not. In theory, it should converge, but like
Not strictly like that. I mean, like if we know that the combo is gonna be N1C or something, then there's a good chance. Like we don't need to keep trying every combination. We could try just like the one that the player feels satisfied playing. So it's like if they know they're like playing N1C or N2C, then they can just put it in, and then like the GSM is gonna figure out the rotation once. That could work.
yeah.
Could. I don't know. It's because like, yeah, fine. Finding the best rotation on the best build is probably an attractive idea, but still, finding the best build on a given rotation is still a pretty good deal.
Well, the issue is that the rotation basically spits out a bunch of weights, and then we use those weights for multi-target. But then, if you change the build, those weights no longer work. But then it spits out the build that changes the weights.
Would it change the weight if you if like because
Well,
the weight would
okay,
be what?
basically what it tells you is that okay, your attack A does like 20%, your attack B does 40%, and then it adds up to 100% or something, and then we use those ways to optimize.
No,
And
no,
then once you have an optimized result,
no, I'm thinking about like attack A, attack twice, so it's 2 times A, attack B, attack 3 times within a rotation, and it is wet, then 3 times B under a condition that it is wet, something like that. So the number, those kind of number doesn't change across builds, right?
it shouldn't change across builds. Oh, okay, it only will change if you're basically if you start GSIM with a radically different build or a build that's not optimal at all. Then you have weights that you're gonna put into the optimizer that's not optimal, and the optimizer is gonna spit out a build that's optimized against that unoptimized weight. And then you use that to feed back into. You'll have to basically use that to feed back into GSIM and do a few cycles until it converges.
Yeah, because if anything, like it definitely will converge because each step is strictly increasing, so it's gonna converge at some value. It does not guarantee optimality, but heck, even if doing it once would be quite a worthwhile operation.
Mm.
Like just one time, like do a GSIM once and put it in a go once, or put in a go once and do the GSIM once is already, for either of them is pretty. It's gonna be a pretty strong combination. But well, we'll see. Because I thought it like this, but it's still not an easy thing to add. Like we haven't even added multi-target as is. Now we're talking about the multi-target on top of GSIM. I mean, well.
Oh well.
I have the owner? Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just-
Oh yeah, the other part that is. Oh, okay.
This is like I'm tickling them.
Those are some pretty horrifying numbers.
It is unfortunate. Yeah, I guess I would need another character at least.
Yeah, like Kazuha would benefit this team significantly.
Well, Kazuha is coming up, but like again, how fundamentally, how much time do you want to devote into this account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, I guess that's why I don't like Abyss. It's
Well,
lot
I mean,
of-
you definitely didn't like Abyss because you couldn't do it with your old, like this original state of your account.
yeah. I mean, much of it is damage check. So like,
It's a time gated damage check. That's the issue.
yeah. So it's like I have almost zero motivation to figure that out.
Yeah, I kind of wish Genshin was a game where like you could even do harder content with like less invested characters just by the act of you playing better. But like that become less and less true.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, if I can play better, I'm gonna be able to win this fight. No, if my attack is low enough, no, if like I don't build the character correctly, I have zero chance. Like even if I attack constantly, it's not gonna happen. Something like that. So yeah. guess.
Just don't have a nuke team that's strong enough against that PMA.
Yeah, then a lot of times it just revolve around, okay, can you pop the burst within 5 milliseconds correctly in the correct order?
I mean, I guess like latency plays a bit into it, but like not that well.
Mayhaps. So how's the Goba data collection?
They paused at the beginning of 2.7. So if we want to make like the artifact filter change, it's probably best that we do it now.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they don't want to combine the data for different periods. Because everyone's account is obviously slowly progressing. So if they do it
I
again,
guess.
it'll be a fresh set of data.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we've milked all of this that we can.
Yeah,
Very
and
good.
we're hitting the 3-hour mark.
Oh, really? When did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should leave. I'm gonna go get some ice, chef ice.
Dang, he's really addicted to shave ice.
Ah well. What
It is a
can
really
I say?
nice snack,
Yeah.
but
So little.
it's like a lot of sugar syrup though. I think the ice kind of numb it down, but like it's like astounding amount of sugar.
That is true. Ah well.
Are you going to go
Yeah,
find someone to host with our 3 viewers, which is probably just us 3?
might as well. Let's see who's streaming. Raid channel.
Red Shadow Legend. Wait, wrong.
I guess Jay's turn is on, so we'll host him. Since that's the only Genshin Impact streamer showing up on my raid list right now. Okay. All right, raid it. We could get off this now.
Okay, stream stopping.